Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, April 30th. We're going to go over what we're working on today for the last assigned work for the week, and then talking about how we're going to use Friday tomorrow. So first, let's go through today's work. Today, we're going to finish morning work page 130 in your morning workbook. And then you have a spelling test on Spelling City for list 27. Now remember, you don't have to take that test today. You can study for it and take it on Friday, on Saturday, or Sunday, just as long as I have it turned in by Sunday night. So you could take it today if you're ready. Remember that if anyone doesn't pass the test, I will set up a retake for you to do. So if you do end up getting a retake, that's totally fine. It's more important for you to practice those words, so you don't have to rush into taking it over again. You can take your time and do it anytime over the next few days. So just a reminder about that. In ReadWorks, we're going to finish any ReadWorks assignments that we have not completed. That includes any from the past few weeks that we've done. So go back into your ReadWorks and check all of your past assignments. It'll say, current assignments and past assignments. So make sure you check all assignments, current and past, to make sure you have them finished. And then in vocabulary, you can get out your vocabulary book and go to the back and write down the 5 words we had this week in your picture dictionary. And if you can't remember what the words are, remember you can go to our Google Classroom and find our vocabulary and just vocabulary week 2. Open that up, and then all the words will be right there. There's the first 3. And then the other 2 are on the other page right there. So don't forget, you can do that if you need to. Alrighty. And then grammar, we have a grammar test on quotation marks. And when you finish, just show it to an adult at home. You don't have to take a picture of it and send it to me or anything, but just show it to a parent at home. And then writing. We're finishing up our informational writing, so I'd like everyone to try to be finished with that by Sunday. We are going to start a new writing topic for the rest of the year, for the next few weeks, on opinion writing. So it would be very important for you to be done with your informational writing on your animal. Remember, you can type that in Google Docs and check to make sure you have all of the things you've learned over the lessons, your different characteristics that you're going to talk about, your descriptive words, your hooks, your facts, your questions, capitalization, punctuation, making sure you read through it and make sure it makes sense, and always share it with someone at home before you send it to me is always also helpful to get some pointers on anything we might need to fix. And then we have our Envision Math, lesson 13.2, equivalent fractions. Use the number line. Those are on pages 679 through 684 in your Envision workbook that you have at home. And then you also have an option to do some social studies, which you can do today or tomorrow or anytime over the weekend that you'd like to. So pages 27 through 29, some more map skills, and then choice. And then whenever you get finished, today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, whatever time you finish, the only thing I need back from parents is this daily assignment sheet. So with everything crossed off that you finished, and then mom or dad sign the very bottom of the second page and take a picture of just those 2 pages only and send those in, and that will account for your attendance, and it will also count credit for all of your schoolwork. So make sure that you get those turned back into me. Alrighty. Also, good practice would be multiplication tables, number rock songs, and cursive writing. So those are all things that we'll talk about for tomorrow. Let's get started on our morning work, page 130. All right, so on the top it says write 3 sentences. Use a word from the word box in each sentence. So we need to make a complete sentence using the word guesses. We need to make a complete sentence using the word knows, and a complete sentence using the word imagines. So we need to have, a complete subject and predicate, capitalized punctuation, using these words correctly in a sentence. And then for math, it says, look at the table, use it to complete the math sentences. So it says, comparing mass units, 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So if you look at 3 pounds are equal to how many ounces? So that would be 16 plus 16 plus 16, 3 times to see how many ounces that would be. 32 ounces would equal how many pounds? Divide that up and you'll see how many pounds that would be. All right. 6 kilograms is equal to how many grams? So remember, 1 is 1,000. So what would 6 be? 3,000 grams is equal to how many kilograms? Remember, 1 is 1,000. So if we have 3,000 of them, how many do we have here? And the last question is, which is heavier, a pound or an ounce? So you'll just write the word pound or ounce. All right, in our story, we have my least favorite animal today. All right, we're going to learn some facts about this little guy. All right, so we're going to read the story, answer the questions. Number 9 says, does the picture match the main idea of the text? Tell why you think so. So if yes, it matches, why? If no, it doesn't match, why? And then number 10 says, do you think the main idea of the text is correct? Tell why you think so. Do you think the main idea of the text is correct? So we'll see what we think. People should get rid of all spiders because they are dangerous to humans. There are over 3,000 kinds of spiders in North America alone. The black widow and brown recluse spiders are the only ones known to seriously hurt humans in the U.S., but there could be other harmful ones we don't know about. Scientists say spiders eat lots of insects that harm us. All right, so do we agree that the main idea is that people should get rid of spiders? After you read everything else that it says, does this picture match the text? Yes or no, and why do you think that? And then show that to someone at home. That can help you fix anything that you have trouble with. All right, always remember you can pause the video as well. So on this page, you're just going to circle or highlight the one sentence that is done correctly. And then I will put an answer key in tomorrow's video. So the first one, quotation mark, please sit down, comma, quotation mark, said Mr. Hughes, period. The second choice is, quotation mark, please sit down, comma, said Mr. Hughes, period. So which one of those is written correctly? Number 2, I am scared, I cried. I am scared, I cried. Number 3, Sarah asked, do you need help? Sarah asked, do you need help? So which one do you think looks correct? There's just a slight error in one of them. Number 4, can we use pen? I asked. Can we use pen? I asked. So one of those is correctly written. That was so much fun, Nathan exclaimed. That was so much fun, Nathan exclaimed. Which one of those is written correctly? She whispered, are you awake? She whispered, are you awake? So one of those has a slight difference. Which one is the correct way? Number 7, dinner is delicious, I exclaimed. The second choice, dinner is delicious, I exclaimed. Which one is correct? I have always wanted a dog, she said. I have always wanted a dog, she said. Which one of those is correct? Do you need any help? I asked. Do you need any help? I asked. So one of those is correctly written, the other one is not. Looks like a subtle difference there. Little tiny one. All right. Number 10. She said, don't forget to eat your vegetables. She said, don't forget to eat your vegetables. Ooh, that one has a very slight little difference on there. One of them is correct, though. All right. When you finish with that, have a parent at home check it over. And if you've gotten it all done, if you have to make any changes, go ahead and make the changes. And then if you have any questions, your parents can help you with that. And then you can just mark it off on your daily assignment sheet. All right, so it brings us up to our Envision lesson today. So we're going to start in your workbook. So get out your Envision workbook, and we're going to start on page 680. 680. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to the video, and we'll watch that one together.
How can you use number lines to find equivalent fractions? Think about this question during the lesson. The Circle W Ranch 1-mile trail has water for cattle at each 1/4 mile mark. The Big T Ranch 1-mile trail has water for cattle at the 1/2 mile mark. What fractions name the points on the trails where there is water for cattle at the same distance from the start of each trail? Let's find out.
Looks like it might be lagging. So looking at the picture here, where do you see the droplets at the same spot?
Distance from the start of each trail.
Go back.
Let's find out.
Looks like an internet lag.
What is the same about the drawings of the two trails?
Okay, so what do we see that's the same? Well, we see some cows. We see the trails are the same length. They're both 1 mile. And then we see droplets of water to show where the cows can get some water along the trail, or where some animals can get water along the trail. So the first trail is broken up into 4 spots where you can stop and get water. And the second trail is there's only a spot halfway through the trail.
They are both the same length, and they both represent 1 mile. What is different about the drawings of the two trails?
So we just talked about that. The first trail, Circles W, is broken up into 4, and Big T Ranch is broken in half.
The drawing for the Circle W Ranch Trail is divided into 4 equal parts. The drawing for the Big T Ranch Trail is divided into 2 equal parts. You can use number lines to find the fractions. What fraction is missing on the number line?
Okay, so we have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and this would be 4/4. Then we have 0, something, and 1. So which one would it be? Would it be 1/4 of the way, 1/3 of the way, 1/2 of the way, or 1 whole? I think we're going to be at half the distance, it said.
Equivalent fractions are different names for the same point on a number line. 2/4 and 1/2 name the same part of the whole. So 2/4 equals 1/2. How do you know that 1/2 and 2/4 are both names for the same location on the number lines? They name the same points on the number lines.
All right, we're going to try it.
Drag the slider to explore equivalent fractions.
Okay, so these are all equivalent, 0, 0, and 0. There's 1/8, but when the one that's cut into fourths and the one that's cut into half, they won't have anything that would match. Then we get to 2/8 and 1/4. Those would be the same. Then we have 3/8, nothing's matching there. On this one, we have 4/8 is equal to 2/4 is equal to 1/2. So 4/8 is equal to 1/2. 4/8 is equal to 2/4. 2/4 is equal to 4/8. 2/4 is equal to 1/2. And 1/2 is equal to 2/4. And 1/2 is equal to 4/8. Only one on that one. And then on this one, 6/8 is on the same spot of the number line as 3/4. So it just depends on which one, how you've cut it up into how many pieces. 8 pieces, 4 pieces, 10 pieces, 2 pieces. That will be what decides.
The fractions 2/4 and 1/2 name the same points on the trails where there is water for cattle. They are at the same distance from the start of the trails. Now you know how you can use number lines to find equivalent fractions.
Okay, let's try our convince me. So at the bottom of your page 680, we're going to answer this question.
Ian paints 6/8 of a fence. Anna paints 3/4 of another fence. Draw a number line to show that Ian and Anna have painted the same amount of each fence.
Okay, so I'm going to try this the best I can with our little tools here. All right, so we're going to make a number line. Okay. Let's be a little thinner. Okay, so we've got 0 right here. Okay, and then we have 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and we'll make 8/8 right here. Make it a little thicker. And we'll change that to 1 right there. All right, let's go back here. Make our small and put in some text boxes here. So you might already be working on these. right, thanks for being patient with me, guys. You're almost done. Okay. So it says that it was broken up into eighths. So the first one would be 1/8. Okay. That means the second would be 2/8. And third would be 3/8. And the fourth would be 4/8. And this one, 5/8. 5/8. 6/8. 7/8. And this one is 8/8. Let's move his over here. Okay, so we've gotten it all broken up into eighths. And then Anna paints 3/4 of another fence. All right, so we're going to change our color. Let's go to pick blue. All right, so we're going to break this up into 4 parts instead of 8 parts. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So we'll label this one, excuse me, let's go here. So this would be 1 out of 4. That spot. Blue. Oh, it's not changing color for us. I guess it's not going to let us. Okay, so 2/8 and 1/4. And then in this space, we have 2/4. And then we have 3/4. And then in this one, 4/4. All right. So if we look, we've got a spot right here that is similar. Let's pick the green to go and mark that. Okay. So that means that 2/8 and 1/4 are equal. 4/8 and 2/4 is equal. And 6/8 and 3/4 is equal. And 8/8 and 4/4 is equal. So we could divide it into 8 pieces, or we could divide it into 4, and that shows us which would be the equivalent. All right, let's go to the next page. All right, complete the number line to show that 2/6 and 1/3 are equivalent fractions. All right. All right, so on page 681, all right, we've got number 1, complete the number line to show that 2/6 and 1/3 are equivalent fractions. All right, so the top line, we can see we've already got a 1/6 here. So the first one would be 1/6. The second one would then be 2/6. Then we have 3/6. And we have 4/6 and 5/6. And then this one right here should be 6/6. Put a little text box there. 6/6. Okay. And then this one's showing that it's broken up into thirds. So we have 2/3 here, and then this one should be 1/3 and 2/3, and then this one would be 3/3. Okay. So if we look, we can see right here that these two, oopsie, I'm trying to do a text box. Let's do a pencil. Pencil. All right, so that means that right here, it shows that 2/6 and 1/3 are equal. Number 2, Sheila makes a number line to see if 4/6 and 4/8 are equivalent. She discovers that the fractions are not equivalent. How did Sheila know that they were not equivalent? All right, let's look back on that. All right, so right in red. Gee, I guess it's not going to let me do. Let me do it. Okay. She saw that the fractions were not the same distance from 0 on the number line. Okay. So Sheila makes a number line to see if 4/6 and 4/8 are equivalent. She discovers the fractions are not equivalent. How did Sheila know? She saw that the fractions were not the same distance from 0 on the number line. So one fraction is 6 and one fraction is 8. So she knows that they're not going to match up, even though the numerator says 4. All right, on 3 and 4, write two fractions that name the same location. So we've got 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6. And then we could also break it up into 1/2 here. Okay, so we can write down our fractions that equal. 3/6 is equal to 1/2. They're both in the same spot. Okay, if we come down here, we've gotten this broken up into 8s. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. And then if we also divide it into 4, we've got 1/4, 2/4. What would this one be? 3/4, and then 4/4. So now we can see, look, they're in the same spot. It just depends on which one you decided to break it up into. So we have 6/8 is equal to 3/4. All right, make sure you copy all of those down. You can pause this video at any time. So we're going to write two fractions that name the same location on the number line. So the top one is divided into 8s, 1/8. The second one should be 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. Then we're breaking it up into fourths. And the reason I know is because here's a fourth, here's a fourth. So the first fourth, I'm going to put another text box in here. We'll fix that. The first fourth is 1/4. Changed our color on us, didn't it? Okay. So that means that 2/8 is equal to 1/4. They are equal fractions. Number 5. So we have 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, 6/6. And below we can go 1/3, and what would be the second third? Excuse me. 2/3, and so those are equal. So 4/6 is equal to 2/3. They are equivalent fractions. So it really just depends on how they decided to break up a line. Number 7, broken up into eighths: 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. And then we could also break it up into 1/4 and 2/4 and 3/4 and 4/4. So we can see that 4/8 is equal to 2/4. They're on that same spot on the number line. On this one, we've got 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, 6/6. And then they broke it up into thirds as well. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So that means that if you have 6 pieces out of 6 pieces, it's the same size, same thing. It'd be one whole as 3 pieces out of 3 pieces. That means you've got all the pieces. All right. Bradley had 40 slices of pizza to share. How many pizzas did he have? Explain how you solved the problem. All right. I'll write my notes down so you don't have to wait on me. 5 pizzas is what he has. Because I can divide the total number of slices. Whoopsie, that's not the word number. By the number of slices for each pizza. For example, 40 divided by 8, remember we talked about that fractional line is also a division problem, is equal to 5. So I know that there are 5 pizzas in all. Okay, so each of them was cut into 8. There were 40 slices altogether. 40 divided by 8 would make it 5 whole pizzas. All right, Ms. Owen has 15 magazines to share among 5 students for an art project. How many magazines will each student get? Use the bar diagram to write an equation that helps you solve the problem. All right, so we start with the total, which is our biggest number, the divisor, or the dividend, 15 divided by, and then how many students? 5 students will equal how many? 3. Each student will get 3 magazines. Simple one, wasn't it? All right. Scooch this over here. Yanita has 28 different apps on her computer. Casey has 14 music apps and 20 game apps on his computer. How many more apps does Casey have than Janita? All right. So first of all, we've got to put these together. 14 music apps plus the 20 game apps. Okay, equals 34 altogether. And so then we take the 34 and we subtract them from the 28 that she has. And that equals 6 more apps on Casey's. All right. How can you tell just by looking at the fractions that 2/4 and 3/4 are not equal? So just looking at 2/4 and 3/4, how can you just tell that they are not equivalent? Okay, we can write our answer in here. They are not located at the same point on the number line. They're next to each other, aren't they? All right, so then I kind of inserted some pictures or lines here to help us with the next problem. So it says, Fiona and Gabe each had the same length of clay. Fiona used 2/3 of her clay. Using sixths, what fraction of the length of clay will Gabe need to use to match the amount Fiona used? Draw a number line as part of your answer. Okay, so we're going to do Fiona's first. She had them broken into thirds. So she has 1/3 here and 2/3 here and 3/3 here. Okay, and then he broke them up into sixths. So we have 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and 6/6. All right, so let's pull out of that one and see where they have 2/3. Let's go ahead and circle that. 2/3 and 4/6 are at the same spot. So your answer would be 4/6 is equal to 2/3. All right, good job. All right, and the last two. Which fraction is not equivalent to 3/6? So if 3/6 is here, if we also break it up into half, halfway would be here. So those are equal. 2/3. So if we broke this up into thirds, it'd be 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. 1/3, 2/3. So 2/3 would be here, and that's not equal to 3/6. Let's check some more. 2/4. So we have 2, 4. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So that looks like it would be in the right spot. 4/8. So we had 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. Looks to me like we have one guy that fits the directions, and that would be B, 2/3, because it would be over here. Which fraction is equivalent to 4/8? So if we have 4/8 right here, 3/8, well, we know that one is not because it's right next to it, and 3/4 would be over here, so that would not be it. 2/4 would be here, and 1/4 would be here. So it looks like we've got our answer here, 2/4. All right, so make sure you get your answers filled in, and then you can use that paper to do your homework. Same kinds of things. We're looking for where the spot is, where they're both the same, and then answering these following questions in the same way. So keep practicing those. And then tomorrow, if you finished all of your assignments you have, then you've got everything in for the weekend. That's perfect. If you need to take the weekend, that's perfect as well. And then tomorrow we will talk about some things that we can be working on Friday if you would like to. So they're all a choice. These are the only things that are assigned Monday through Thursday. So Friday would be a good choice for times table practice, number rock practice, handwriting, cursive handwriting practice, going onto our website and doing some extra math, freckle, reflex math, reading, IXL, any of those programs that we have on our blog page would be excellent. So, but I will send an email and a video for that for you tomorrow. All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Make sure that you really try to work on your math. I know it's a big concept. I wish we were in class because we could do a lot of things with, manipulatives and being able to really show. So draw pictures if you need to. Make sure that the number lines are the same length, even though you're breaking them up into different size pieces so that you can line them up. So, all right, guys, I hope you have a great day today. Good luck on everything. Remember, you don't have to be finished by today. However, if you are finished by today, send in your daily assignment checkoff sheet with parent signature. Otherwise, I just need it by Sunday for everybody. So I will talk to you again. I will do a read aloud and send that along in a separate email. All right, guys, have a great night.